Notre Dame's on a quest to make the playoffs. Will we get there? I think we need help above us. We can talk about that. It's Halloween on Friday. All Saints Day on Saturday. And Notre Dame's in the Holy War versus Boston College this Saturday. And so make sure you go to Mass. But also, some other shit went down this week, which was Brian Kelly was actually fired from LSU. So we got a lot to talk about, and I have very little stats, but that's okay. It's going to be awesome. Welcome to the Fighting Irish Faithful Show. I am Joe at Faithful_Irish on the X, proudly part of Dos Leprechauns Media. And here we are, Season 6, Episode 14, Volume 166 of all time. And no, we are not Simon Belmont with our intro theme. If you don't know who that is, then get right with your video game trivia there. All right, let's go straight to people. We got Mac on. You were our sound check guy. We'll go with you first, man. We'll just go straight into it. I'm in the wrong tab for walk-up music. Sorry, Mac.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
How is everybody?
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, look, I'm glad you let off with me because I know that there will be some Brian Kelly bashing.
Mm-hmm. You're not a Brian Kelly homer, are you?
I'm just gonna say one thing.
You can say more than one thing.
Before that happens, I can't not lie and say I will not. Oh, I hate the way he left, but I can't not always say I'll be appreciative and kind of have a soft spot in my heart for him.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, it's not all like vinegar and rock throwing at this end. Okay.
Right.
I'm not the one who was a dick to Notre Dame fans. Okay.
No, that wasn't. It wasn't. I don't like the way it ended.
Agreed.
But I do have to appreciate. I do appreciate what he did do for the university. Without him, you don't have Marcus Freeman.
Oh, that's true.
Without him, like I always think, good coaches bring good coaching.
I mean, you could say the same thing about like Weiss, or Jerry Faust, like without them, like.
Right.
But I'm with you. I'm with you.
Quite honestly, I think Brian Kelly just isn't made to coach in the NIL type college football.
Yeah, just not in big games.
His attitude, his temperament, it doesn't work anymore. And I think time has passed him by. But so I don't take happiness in somebody. It is kind of like a good grass isn't always greener, but I don't take pleasure in him being fired.
Yeah, like
that's all.
No, you're right. I guess like we're titling the show Notre Dame's Receipts, right? And so yes. I'm gonna be a little bit of a prick about that tonight, but it's mostly because it's like Notre Dame fans clearly are vindicated, obviously, and it's like, look, we were kind of like sick of Brian Kelly, quite frankly. It's like, dude, like you're not doing anything here, and then the way he left was really sour, and then he goes over to LSU, and it's like, yeah, big program. They're going to pay you a lot of money. Good luck, kind of thing. But their fans were like, oh, we're going to be awesome with Brian Kelly. And it's like, wait, hold the phone. I don't think you guys realize what you got sold here. And now here they are, in his fourth season, and he gets let go after, a huge loss at home. And there it is. So, I mean, I think the vindication is on the Notre Dame side because it's like, look, we told you, LSU fans, we've been telling you this since day one. You didn't believe us, okay? And now some of you are. Now there are a few LSU fans that I did see on X, like basically saying like, yes, I should have listened to you. Yes, I was wrong. And it does take, a big person to admit when they're wrong. I know I admit when I'm wrong. It doesn't happen too often on this podcast, but I do it when it's apparent and obvious. But Mac, I do agree with your point that without Kelly, Notre Dame football doesn't transition. Kelly had to be part of things when we went to turf and a jumbotron and a stadium expansion and the beginning of NIL and some of these other things. The gold helmet shine. I remember they were a khaki color under the Weiss years. There was a sense of stability to an extent that he brought, with one exception of the 4-8 season, which I thought was his downfall. But I'm not a Notre Dame fan because of jumbotrons and turf and Under Armour uniforms, right? It's about football excellence, and unfortunately, Kelly, though we always wanted him to bring football glory to Notre Dame, and for a few moments there was, it seemed like that was possible, but when the rubber met the road, and when you just stack up the lost opportunities, just didn't happen. Maybe he just had bad luck. That's up for debate. But I agree with you that he did, without Kelly ushering in kind of the modern era of Notre Dame football that we have today. I think it cleared some of the distractions out. And so Marcus Freeman could just come in and actually coach and recruit and develop players and support his players. And he's just not yelling at them on the sideline the way Kelly clearly has been doing at LSU, and we did see at Notre Dame as well.
Well, I believe at Notre Dame, they, as best as possible. I remember after his first game, he was forced to issue an apology for yelling. But
yeah, like the
right,
what was it? The South Florida game? He got really heated.
Yeah, he was forced to issue an apology. I remember that. But anyway, this is Boston College Week.
It is Boston College Week.
I cannot lie and tell you, every time they play Boston College, I don't get anxious because of the past failures and freaking Jim Rome going on going on the air and singing "We suck when we play BC." We gotta get the.
Does he still do that, or is that a real thing?
Well, he did, and I can tell you, my dad was. I grew up a Notre Dame fan, and my father a USC fan.
Okay,
and my dad would sing that to me. I was in kindergarten, and my dad would sing that to me. So
rough.
There's a little bit of. I because of that, I always have that. I don't know, that horrible feeling when they play BC. No matter what the stats say.
I mean, fortunately, we got it up here, the Holy War history here. Sadly, Boston College's first victory against Notre Dame was that 93 game. The last victory they did have was a 6-game streak that started in 2001 and ended in 2008. There's a few years that the 05, 06 years. Unfortunately, the two good years of Weiss are not there. But from 2009 all the way through 2012, Notre Dame won. We won in 2015, although that game was kind of a shit fest in Fenway Park. No, it was not a good idea to play in a small baseball stadium. Coach Parsegian will at least agree with me on that one because he hates the Red Sox. But then that doesn't necessarily mean he's pulling for the Dodgers tonight, though. I will say that. But no, Notre Dame is, how many games is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. We're on a 9-game streak. This would be 10, assuming a victory on All Saints Day. And per the record, it looks like we've actually never had the Holy War on All Saints Day. So interesting.
That's very cool.
That is cool.
One last thing. One or two things. Hopefully the bye week bought them extra time to work a quarterback sneak. And
or go under center.
Take a snap under center.
Yeah.
Hopefully they worked on that. And second, I will not be having my show.
Okay.
Before the game, I am
going to mass.
I'm in an alumni game. So my high school wants me to play baseball.
Okay.
It's our 20th year reunion too, and so I get to relive the glory days, as Bruce Springsteen would say, and see if my fat butt can still run. So
stretch, please don't pull anything.
Oh God, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horrible. And what's worse is it's the alumni versus the current players.
Oh, you guys. Well, yeah, the current players probably gonna smoke you. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I can't. I mean, geez, you like I'm not gonna lie. That six pack I used to have when I was 18 is gone. Now it's a keg. So,
Yes.
yeah, they should. I mean, I weigh about 90 pounds heavier than I did in high school. Shoot.
What position did you play in baseball?
Well, I was left-handed, so I pitched.
Okay, excellent.
I pitched in. I was a bullpen guy in college too, so I pitched and I played, and of course I played first base and corner outfield if needed.
Okay.
But that's what I did. The reason why I couldn't play positions at higher levels, or even is I'm short and I'm a gap hitter. So if you're going to put someone at the corner, you don't want a gap hitter. You can have a second baseman do that, right? So I had no power.
I'll take your word for it, Mac, as I never played baseball beyond just some little league.
I was a contact hitter. Like, think of a really good contact hitter. I would have been a great two hitter.
All right.
But that's not what you get a first baseman for. You put a guy who's not athletic but is strong as hell.
You said this was a 20-year reunion?
We have a 20-year, so I'm 30.
That's ironic. Yeah. You're gonna lead us in real well here with the toast of the night. We have to get this out here. So toast of the night is going to my wife, the doc. If you didn't see my post earlier today is 20 years to the day in which we met. We met on October 28th, 2005. At a mutual friend's 21st birthday party. We did not know each other before that. It was just like 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon or whatever, is how we met at said party. I was 21. My wife was 19. And the big group of college kids from Gonzaga, I don't know, it was like 15, 20 of us or something like that. We went to the Olive Garden because that's what you did when you were a kid at Gonzaga on a Friday night. And so we're like, hey, let's go to the Olive Garden. And we did. We took the boys. We had a great time. And, I think the last time we went to the Olive Garden was probably during COVID. We just did like takeout or something. So it's not but hey, never ending pasta bowl. And I crushed 3 of them. So it might be a little sleepy later at the end of the show. So toast is to the doc. So love you, hon.
Well, I don't have anything more to say. Everyone have a blessed afternoon. I have a grumpy toddler, so I'm going to get to him and go Irish, and love you all.
Go Irish. Thank you, Mac. Don't pull anything. All right. Have a good one. Let's jump over to Coach Era Parsegian here. Since we're talking a little baseball here, you can trash on the Red Sox if you want. All you want. No, that's perfectly fine.
My bad.
Where's Coach Parsegian?
Right here.
Yo, what's up, man?
Happy Brian Kelly finally got what's coming to him day.
He got sacked.
Good grief. How did it take him like 5 schools to finally get canned?
But no, because he just left early. Like, he left early from Cincinnati, right before their bowl game, before they getting curb stomped. He leaves Notre Dame. And actually, I would argue that if Kelly was probably coaching that Oklahoma State game, that Fiesta Bowl in 2021, might have won. Not to say that Freeman couldn't have done it. We were up by 17 at one point, but Kelly just
we'd have been losing by 17.
Maybe.
Had Kelly been coaching.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It would have been a blowout. We would have gotten utterly destroyed.
We'll see. I mean, we'll never know, right? But it's one of those things that I think is one of those conversations we could have had, like kind of the what if things. But again, Kelly leaves early in 2021. And what's funny is I just thought of this just now. Red Snapper and I did a show. He's not on. Everyone message him right now. We did a show the night we found out. Like, I'm on my phone, he's on his phone, and all of a sudden I see the news. I'm like, dude, are you doing anything right now? And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, let's podcast now. And we weren't live on X or anything at the time, but we did record something with him on the phone, and we got it out there in the ether. So if you want to go back and to 4 years ago, basically, when the news broke the night that we all found out Kelly was leaving Notre Dame. We were just like, holy shit, So that was interesting. And then like the next show we did was, hey, Marcus Freeman's gotten hired, and so the mood was really high. But yeah, it's interesting, Coach. He's finally gone. He's no one's problem right now.
Well, I completely understand what you're saying, Mac, as far as, you don't want to gloat in somebody's getting fired. But the buyout he's getting, dude, I could pretend to know what I'm talking about in that Bayou Bengal culture that LSU
I can't even
has
imagine
for 2 or
that
3
amount
years.
of money. Like that's just what?
Dude, I would take that buyout in a heartbeat.
Yeah, sure. Keep paying me $50 million.
To not have to do anything for the next 7 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a sweet boat, go fishing.
It's almost like he did this on purpose.
I don't know.
He just intentionally didn't try. The stories that I've seen come out here and there from certain LSU people and other Notre Dame related accounts been posting things here and there that's like, how come we didn't hear about this 4 years ago? Where has this been?
I don't know.
And it just keeps building and building, and people that are like, oh, how are you dancing on Declan Sullivan's grave? It's like, we were talking about this 4 years ago and you didn't want to hear it.
Right.
And you still don't want to hear it because you're so far up Kelly's ass thinking he's this great and mighty coach until it matters. And then you get your ass kicked. And then it comes out, oh, he's an asshole to everybody unless you can personally benefit him.
Well, and that's what's interesting. Yeah, he's ripping into his players. He's throwing his players under the bus, which is what he was doing at Notre Dame. It was way more apparent at LSU, where they were much more off the reins. But it's almost like just getting inappropriate, quite frankly. I mean, that kind of shit you could never do in the NFL because a player would just fucking punch you, probably. You know what I'm saying?
He's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked by some of his players over the last year.
Well, and then I was reading a report because I've been doing some research on this, but the one that jumped out to me, and there's no way I could find the article again, but it was essentially how Kelly had a lot of MO and a lot of behaviors at LSU that we heard about after he left Notre Dame. Which is that he was telling alumni, like, don't come back. Like there were alumni from the 2019 season and other LSU championship successful seasons that, wanted to engage the current players. And Kelly said no for whatever reason. Okay. And I remember hearing reports about that, about BK, how he was telling like Joe Montana and, other alums and other legends of Notre Dame, past, basically saying like, no, stay away from my current team or whatever. And then Freeman shows up, obviously, and you have all these guys that are coming back, and Freeman's actually encouraging it, this, that, and the other. I mean, Malik Zaire has been back, and he was a player for like 4 games basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's the total flip of personalities from Kelly to Freeman, but also a lot of similarities and behaviors that Kelly was exhibiting at Notre Dame that we found out after he left, or even while he was still there, was I think amplified while he was at LSU.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a more deserving individual.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way I can end our discussion of Brian Kelly.
Yeah. So
hopefully he'll finally ride off into the sunset, and I don't see how you can get a good coaching gig now. He's going to have to start back over from like the MAC or the Mountain West.
I think he would be picked up somewhere. I think if you're someone like I think Kelly is a good enough used car salesman and a politician, quite frankly. I could even just see Kelly just getting into politics. Period. Like
He might as well. That's all he's good at.
He's a greasy enough scumbag to just go and do that because he's always looking for his behind and stuff. And
well, I believe he's the son of a politician.
Yes,
his
that's
dad
right.
was a Boston politician.
Yeah, I don't know the full like separation, but I have been wanting to do this. So Kelly was officially fired. Okay, for people on YouTube, he was officially fired. Okay, and yes, we have a lighter now. So anytime he says fired, we're gonna try to remember that. So that's gonna be like the bell tonight. Okay, when someone is fired,
take a drink.
Well, no, I'm lighting a big lighter here. So
I don't mean to.
We have an open flame.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Kelly is 71. Does he have enough time to go back to
really? He's that old?
Build it up?
I thought he was in his 60s.
I thought he was in his 60s too.
I thought I read he was 71.
Okay,
I'm gonna find out.
I'll let someone fact check us on this right now. Let's bring Benny on. I think we'll go with more of an open forum tonight because I have a very limited brief of show notes. I do not have a
Brian Kelly is 64.
60?
Oh, well, then I'm so wrong. I'm sorry.
7 years off.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Go stretch.
That's when his buyout ends.
Oh, okay. So that's what it was. Okay, sorry. My bad.
It's all right, Mac. We brought Benny on here as well to vent and bring his he can laugh.
No venting tonight. It has been
therapeutic.
Let's just call it. Yeah, it's been 48 hours of just straight therapy.
I'm just laughing about it.
Kind of, yeah, and I went back on. I say Saturday night, but let's be honest, it was more like, I don't know, probably whatever time that stupid Colorado-Utah game ended. I went back and listened to some of the podcasts that were done after BK left and how everyone was all, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And now I'm like,
who are those people?
You dummies. Who are those?
No, seriously, who are those people, Benny? The show is titled Notre Dame Receipts. Who are the people? I mean, if you don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but you can. But like we're just calling a spade a spade. Like who? Because I've got some BK homers here who we're gonna call out who literally were upset that Kelly left, Freeman was hired, and literally wanted Kelly to stay.
Well, it wasn't more so they want Kelly to stay, like upset. It was more so where do we go from here type of upset.
Okay. Well, I mean, like as fan base, I mean, I guess maybe that's an adequate position, but that's for the administration and the powers that be in the athletic department to go figure that out. That's why they get paid the big bucks. They in my opinion, they should always have a short list of, if shit hits the fan, like where do we go? Because this football team, generates a lot of cash for this university, and we better have, some backup plans in a drawer somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least that's what I think. I mean, that's a good reminder. I've got to do my family benefits this week.
Side note, I'm watching the World Series on a bit of a delay. Ohtani is just not fair.
Why?
It's not fair that the Dodgers have multiple great pitchers.
You say it like it's a bad thing. Like, I mean, that is it not fair that like Dodgers are just playing the game. Like, I remember when the Dodgers sucked. Dodgers are losing right now 3-1 anyway. I don't understand.
Well, I don't know.
This is literally turning into a baseball. This is now the second time we're talking about baseball.
Joe, they're able to get the best TV deal because of where they're located, and there's no salary cap. So of course they
okay,
able to,
yes, they're in a big market, okay,
and they buy
which
the
is
team.
Split between the Angels. You realize this, right? So imagine if the Angels
everyone loves
there.
Anaheim.
I don't. I mean, it's nice to go to a game there, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's like, whatever. Like this is not anything new. Like people were always been bitching about the Yankees. Oh, they're stealing everybody's
Well,
players.
I was gonna say, if I may, as a Yankees fan, I have no issue with a team loading up with as many stars as they can if they can afford it. My gripe is Ohtani plays the game about as well as he plays the odds, if I may say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm a Giants fan, and I hate. I can't. I hate that.
And I hate the Giants, so we can disagree.
Bring
it
I
on,
do believe
Mac.
that a salary cap is.
Where is my brother at this point, man? Someone needs to message his ass and be like,
a salary cap still doesn't benefit the rest of baseball. I mean, you're still going to have all these other rinky-dink teams like the Rockies and the Mariners and the Rangers and the A's. Not so much the Tigers, but probably the Tigers. I mean, Detroit's a bigger market.
Ownership too. You have poor owners.
Well, I mean, look at how the Yankees are doing with the roster they have.
Oh my gosh. I think we're going to have to cut all this baseball talk, guys. We're trying to talk about Notre Dame receipts, and you guys are talking about fucking baseball here, all right? So I'm going to throw the gauntlet down here and cut y'all off here. Benny, this is your fault, okay?
I'm sorry.
Redeem yourself. You have one chance.
Now, here's my question. Even though Kelly's getting I don't even know what his buyout is.
It's like $50 million.
Apparently, they've negotiated it down, but whatever. Can he technically still collect unemployment?
No. He's under a contract.
Okay. That's what I thought, but although if he's getting $53 million, he really doesn't need the unemployment.
Well, like that's funny. So when I talked to the doc, you know, like the day after I found, or the night after I found out he was fired, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, Brian Kelly was fired, and she's like, you know, you kind of feel bad for him, and then I explained that, well, yeah, he got fired, but there in his contract is written that LSU still has to pay him. And she's like, okay, well, how much are they paying him? I'm like, I don't know, something like $50 million. And she's like, she almost spit out her coffee. And she's like, okay, I don't feel bad for him at all. I'm like, thank you. That's right. You are walking away with a giant pile of cash, John DeLorean style, except this time you won't be arrested.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was talking to, I think I was talking to my dad about this. And he goes, yeah, I kind of feel bad for Kelly. And I go, there's 53 million reasons why you should not feel bad for him.
Yeah, you don't feel bad. Exactly. That's a good point. Benny, you should put that in a tweet.
Oh, I've got some tweets in the chamber.
Excellent. Good. Let him fly.
My thought here is this. Now, I know this probably won't happen, but it would be the funniest thing ever. Is if LSU hires James Franklin and Penn State hires Brian Kelly.
That would be a weird switcheroo. I don't think LSU is going to do that. I think they're gonna go like try to pilfer somebody else that's doing well, or they're gonna go to like John Gruden or something crazy like that.
I don't think they go. I don't think they go Gruden. I think Gruden is very happy at his current Barstool gig.
Right.
I think they go.
Even though Dave Portnoy's an ass.
What?
Dave Portnoy's an ass.
Fair. But I think they try and go get Joe Brady.
Okay.
Can't remember where he is right now. I want to say, you know what? I'm actually going to Google that. Because...
All right. Benny, you Google that. You report back. We're going to jump over to William A. Frazier. Man, it's been forever since you've been on the show.
He's the coordinator at Buffalo. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, that I don't think they're going to get someone like that. Look at what's happened with North Carolina, how well that turned out, with the Belichick experiment, Yeah. There's a bunch of other weird shit going on there. All right, Benny, thanks so much. We're going to move on to William, try to get some other people going here, let people express and share their receipts they have either about BK or LSU or whatever. So, William, bring you back on, man. It's been forever.
Yeah, it's been the first time for the season.
Yeah.
Got really one. Yeah, so sorry about that. My schedule isn't lined up as it
Nah, you do
used to
your
be.
thing, bro. You do whatever you gotta do.
It's good to hear your voice. Good to see Luis on, my buddy.
Every
Real
Tuesday
quick.
night we here, and Luis
Yeah, I know.
usually is too.
So, real quick, now that it's been 4 years since his departure and now his execution in Louisiana,
Oh
at
my
what
god.
point do you think Notre Dame fandom will move on from BK? Just, I know it'll never stop, but at the level that it has been over the last 4 years, I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Well, like, so what do you mean by move on? Like, like
I mean,
I'm like
it's just
explain what you mean by that.
it seems like we're like spurned lovers, and it's just like, guys, come on, I let's
Well, like
just
I
move
don't think it's so
on.
much that. I think it's this is maybe a bad analogy, but this is like when your girlfriend cheats on you, and it's like you gotta, but you're still like kind of see her around, you know what I mean? Like I've never had this happen to me, by the way, so it's just for the record. But I'm just like, I'm trying to like hypothetically come up with a scenario. Your girlfriend cheats on you, but you still have to kind of be around her. So obviously there's going to be some resentment, that's
But
going
the thing
on there.
is okay, that happened, but guess what? We turned around, we bounced, and we actually got better. So what the fuck are we talking about
No,
here?
that's true. Okay, that's all right. So valid point, I guess. I guess it's one of those things where it's like she's digging her own grave, and it's like, well, like it's like a train wreck. Like you don't want to stare, but you can't look away.
I just was hoping, like, over the next year, he
Like,
just
and I
fades
think
away in the shadows
I
of
think I think why
what
it's
was the
interesting
past.
is because LSU is. I think it's because it's LSU and it's a big name program. Like it could have been I don't know, Oklahoma or Texas or like any other big program that Kelly had gone to. Okay, but it is LSU. It's a big name program. It's a program that is willing to cut bait with him midseason. Finally, they smelled the coffee here, so they did decide to fire him. Okay, and and I think it's interesting because it makes college football interesting. And on top of that, and I don't have the complete list, but I mean, I'm pretty sure who Virginia Tech, now LSU, Oklahoma State, Penn State, Florida, have all fired their coaches. UCLA, all right, they've all fired their coaches at this point in the season. Okay, we have what 5 games left. Okay, we're
Uh-huh.
5-2. We have 5 more games in the regular season. We haven't even had fucking Halloween, and we're talking about, coaches and shit that happens around Christmas time. Okay, this is very like parallel to you go to any store right now, you see Christmas shit up right now. It's like, dude, we haven't even had fucking Halloween. Forget about Thanksgiving because apparently that holiday no one cares about anymore. But the point I'm making is, like, I'm with you that it's like when other fans say that Notre Dame, like fans on Twitter, are obsessed with Brian Kelly, I actually think they're not off their rocker when they say that, because some people have been a little too whatever. I was probably a little upset maybe that first year, but then after that I'm like, okay, I'm over this. Like, let's move on, just because it was recent. And it's like you're seeing him with his bullshit, and we've got a little audio montage here coming up with that. But no, it's just one of those things where it's like I don't want to dwell on this, but it's really hard to not talk about it.
I understand that, and I understand the talk about it right now. My point is, and more my question was, is that at what point do we stop talking about the guy? Guy's has
I
been toxic forever, and he
Yeah.
won't change his ways. So
So I
we
think of
should
it.
all just move the fuck on.
I agree. I think this is like, have you ever seen the movie Swingers?
Yeah, it's been sometimes, but I
Okay,
remember it.
it's like that one scene near the end where he's in John Favreau's apartment and he's like, "Look, man, it's sunny every day," and it's like it'll hurt a little bit less tomorrow, and then it'll hurt a little bit less tomorrow, and then one day you'll just wake up and you just kind of will forget about it, just like kind of just forget about her, right? It's going to be like that, I think, with this BK thing. Obviously, in my mind, like I don't stay up sleeping about this, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I can't speak for all fans. I can only speak for myself as a fan who runs a podcast. And obviously, we're going to talk about this because I just it's really interesting, and I would actually love it if an LSU fan came on here that was actually like, oh, we were sold a pile of goods or whatever, and so we did invite some on, but that was more just for tongue in cheek. To which I will say, I did keep receipts of some LSU people. We also did invite Coach Brian Kelly's his official X handle to the show tonight, so we'll keep one eye on the radar for that, at Coach Brian Kelly. But update your X profile, man, because you still are claiming to be the LSU head coach, but maybe you should update your social media, or maybe your attorneys told you not to, but whatever. At Dr_Forster, at Kaizen_LSU, at Miss Chris 10, Chris with a K, _RN, at CryingBelly_. That fucker came on our show twice and told us that we suck, and he thought that LSU was the bee's knees. He's a little quiet right now. So these people I have receipts with from 4 years ago. So call me obsessed, but it's been on my phone because we knew this day of reckoning would happen. So, but I cannot stop there. I will continue. There are some Notre Dame fans who, after Kelly left, were upset, B, didn't think Marcus Freeman was good enough or whatever, and literally would rather have had Kelly stay for whatever their reasons are. They can explain it. You guys can ask them. But at Murphy324 and at Dakota Echo, y'all, a couple years ago, we're still saying like, oh, I'd rather have Kelly here. And I'm like, why? I wanted that guy gone in 2016. Okay. So, and he kind of took care of that for us, obviously. But, yeah, so I had to get that off my chest. I've kept those receipts, and now I will officially delete them from my phone because that's what we do. So William, call me obsessed, but this is my therapy right now. Okay.
No, I totally get. Like I said, the now is valid. I'm just saying, at what point do we just say, this guy was a fucking loser? He won the fucking easy games he was supposed to win. He didn't shine under the big lights. He could not seal a deal.
He did have a 70% win percentage at LSU. Is pretty good.
But we won't talk about Tulsa, and we won't talk about other games that he.
No, I'm saying while he was at LSU in these 3.5 years, right?
Let's talk about that. He had all the resources that he could ever want, and all
the Heisman Trophy winner. We talked about that last week,
and he didn't, and he still couldn't do it.
Yeah,
still couldn't do it. And we should also point out of all these coaches that were with him and decide, hey, this is just not. I'm punching out. So
yeah. Mike Elko.
And, so Mike Elko for one, and, he made the worst decision on firing the strength and conditioning coach. I mean, that was dumb. He had such deep ties to the community in Louisiana, and he got his payback last Saturday night. But really, what I'm saying is that I hope this whole freaking shit just dies off and he just is dust in the wind, because he's never going to get a statue on campus. Never.
Well,
he won't get a fucking
he didn't win a New Year's. He didn't even win a New Year's Six. Like, that's the thing. Now, it's interesting in doing some brief history on Kelly and his time at LSU. He actually won all 3 bowl games all 3 years, but they were like the Citrus Bowl and that kind of shit. Nothing, no New Year's Sixes, certainly no playoffs, obviously.
No playoffs.
And no like fiestas, or anything like that since, prior to expansion. So, and they had the Heisman Trophy winner. It's like, man, like this is there's a lot of parallels here with him and what's his fucking face over at USC? God bless.
Uh,
Brain. Lincoln Riley. Okay.
like him, yeah.
So there's some parallels going on there. It's like you've got a lot of resources. You're in a big profile thing, and it's like I don't know. Like, you know, I think other coaches get asked dumb stuff. Like I saw some interview that Lane Kiffin got, and then Kirby Smart in the SEC, and even Marcus Freeman that they were asked, and the press is such a baiting group. You know, they're just like, oh, what do you think of the Brian Kelly thing? And it's like, what the fuck do you want him to say? Do you want him to gloat that the guy was fired mid-season? These other coaches are probably like, I don't want to say shitting their pants, but they're also like, geez, is this the environment that it is? You know, like a big program like LSU, you know, like I'm at a school, you know, that's got high expectations too. Like if I slip up just a little bit, I'm gone, you know? Now I think Kelly doesn't help himself when he's treating his players like dicks, you know, and like administrators, assistant coaches, you know, like people are talking, people see this, you know, and people are like, this probably is not appropriate behavior, you know, for these young student athletes. You know, these guys are in college, despite the fact that they're getting paid out the ass. The point is, it's like they're still young minds. They are not professionals yet, as much as ESPN wants them to make them out to be. Okay, so back to your question. You know, I think it's on an individual basis. We are not going to dwell on it on this show. Now, if someone wants to talk about it, someone, you know, says, "Hey, I got to get this off my chest," da da da. Fine, I'll be your therapist on this show. But like, I'm really not going to bring it up. Now, we may mention it if he gets hired at some ACC school or something. Like maybe Virginia Tech picks him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they should. You know?
I don't think so. I think he's going to go try for a broadcasting chair. I think he's going to be too radioactive.
I think he would have better luck in politics, believe it or not, or try to go back to like Grand Valley State or something and be their athletic director. You know what I mean? Like go that route and play the politics and have kind of your fingers in the ointment there with the athletics and the football program.
The thing about that, that's a good point. That's a good point about politics. At least he has a reason to kill young boys.
Oh gosh, you know, can I say this? Like the Declan Sullivan thing to me was very shocking. I don't know. I mean, I do know that the conditions were dangerous, and I work in a place where safety is paramount. Okay, and so I'm not gonna like. I will say this: safety is not just to put all the blame on Kelly. I think is inappropriate. I think he shares some of the responsibility, but like, I'm not trying to like dance and be rude to Declan Sullivan, but look, man, if you don't feel comfortable and safe, you don't have to go up there. You really don't, okay? And if you feel pressure to do something that's not safe, it's not okay. All right? So Declan Sullivan, if he felt unsafe, which we actually don't know the answer to that, unless there was some reports. But the point I'm making is
earlier that day.
The point
earlier today.
I know what tweets you're talking about. The point I'm making is you do never ever put your safety in the hands of someone else. Like if you feel really unsafe on an airplane and you want to get off, you can get up out of your seat while you're still parked at the gate. Even if you're taxiing, walk up to the flight attendant and say, I feel unsafe, I want to get off this plane. They will let you off. I guarantee it. So by the way, it's safer to fly than to drive your car. But the point I'm making is like, he put himself in that situation too, okay? He as an individual, as a young man, he is responsible for his safety. Not to mention the other people that were there that day, the other people in the training staff, assistant coaches, you know, even fucking players. I don't know. The point I'm making is there was a bad situation, and safety is everyone's responsibility. It is not solely Brian Kelly's, and I will fight tooth and nail on that. I'm not defending Kelly. I'm saying it is a mutually shared responsibility. So I kind of want to move away from that because it's kind of annoying to me.
Okay, fair. That's fair. I believe that there are certain things that we don't know that influence the situation of the day, and I just kind of would like I would want to think that Kelly would have better situational awareness, and because a young
would hope.
guys,
One would hope.
well, she would have to admit when you're 19, 20, you don't always have the best mindset of safety and going on.
Yes, I am. I have stories that would support your claim there.
Okay, so both of us have personal experiences that would reflect that. So Declan probably knew that the winds were around 60 miles an hour, and then when you get about 10 to 15 feet above the ground, it only gets worse, especially when you have like no breaks as far as like tree cover or anything to break that up.
Yeah,
I know that working around an airport all the time. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So I just think that I don't know. Brian Kelly's just not a good person. He's just shown it time and time again, and I don't know. Anyway, hey, real quick, do you think the chances for Notre Dame for the playoff? Do they
Great
stay
question.
strong or not?
Yeah, if we were not having a Brian Kelly discussion and talking about Notre Dame's receipts versus LSU fans, or even BK himself, or even Boston College, because we just don't like them and they are the backup college, we probably would have titled this show Notre Dame's Quest for the playoffs.
Well,
I think that's
week, then.
No. Let's talk about it. It's totally cool. The OBS, where you at, Joe? Do better. So here's the deal. The rankings will come out next week after this Boston College game, the first week of November. Okay, so that's when the playoff committee and the rankings that really matter will come out. But for now, the best we have is probably the AP. You got Ohio State as number 1, Indiana, Texas A&M, and then you got Alabama and Georgia, right? So you got 3 SEC teams that are all next to each other, and you have 2 Big Ten teams that are right next to each other as well. Now, the committee, fortunately, has come to their senses and is not going to put conference champions in the top 4, which is stupid. They're going to actually rank teams based off of record and who is, quote, the best, right? That makes sense. So though these teams will play each other, but there will be losses here. Like Indiana and Ohio State right now are probably on track to face each other in the Big Ten championship game, right? I don't know the particulars about Alabama, Ole Miss, and Georgia's schedules, so forgive me. But then you got Vandy in there. BYU probably has a clear path to the playoffs as long as they keep winning. They're looking pretty solid. Miami is suspect to lose again. You got Georgia Tech in there, who's undefeated, so that's interesting. And then Notre Dame right now is sitting at 12. Okay, so it would be very difficult. So unless like Tennessee or somebody like knocks off an Alabama or something like that, you know what I mean? Like let's look at someone's schedule, like Alabama, right? Okay, they've got LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and the Iron Bowl. Okay, so really only Oklahoma is the one who could maybe knock them off their axis, maybe. Okay, Georgia. Let's see here. They got Florida, Mississippi, Texas. They play Georgia Tech at the end, so that Georgia Tech game may be interesting. Georgia Tech themselves, NC State, BC, Pitt, then Georgia. So they're probably going to be undefeated when they hit Georgia, right? So that'll probably be a really good game, that rivalry game.
No doubt.
Vandy, okay, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. All right, so Vandy and Tennessee, that's a rivalry game, right, in Tennessee. So there you go. Miami, I mean, fuck this team. Why are we even looking at them? We don't care about them. But they may run the table still.
Oh, we have to care about them because
No, I fucking hate Miami, right? But I get your point though. Like I'm with you. Like no, they don't play anyone that really scares me. Okay. BYU, the only team that they play that's maybe worth a crap was last week, Iowa State, and they won. They definitely pulled that victory out. And I work with some Iowa State people, so they were upset. But really, they got Texas Tech in 2 weeks here. The Cougars do. So, we'll see where it goes. And then the last one, we got Ole Miss here. I mean, they're probably going to run the table, right, with what they've got left on the schedule. Unless they really, trip over their own shoes, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oregon is suspect. They're playing at Iowa. That is no slouch. And Oregon's got USC, and USC, that's probably their last tough game is Oregon as well. So depending on how that goes, and I will never cheer for USC, but a USC victory over Oregon may help Notre Dame.
Would. Totally
again, but I will cheer for Oregon in that game because I hate USC. And because transitive property logic doesn't necessarily, it does not override my hatred for the Trojans, the boys of Troy.
Okay. Fair.
So anyway, right now, if the playoffs was today, we'd be playing Georgia at Georgia, right? So we're in. I mean, we're the ones who lost 2 games at the beginning of the season, right? So that's not good. I mean, Indiana, unless Indiana slips up, I don't think that's going to happen. I will say this, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers. I mean, they got Michigan. I guess Michigan's kind of had their number the last couple of years. Maybe that would help, but I don't think that would push Ohio State, out of contention. So it's really that Vandy to Miami space, the 9, 10, 11 space that's really going to, drive and move things. If we jump over to Sagarin, which I love talking about because it's all math.
I know that's your jam there.
It is my jam. Notre Dame is 4th in Sagarin, believe it or not, but it's because they have the 8th ranked strength of schedule. They have an 8th ranked strength of schedule. Their victories are very high. Their losses are really low. Okay, and the teams they have played, like Miami, has got a good record, and Texas A&M's undefeated. Okay, speaking of Texas A&M, where are the Aggies? Why are you here? Okay, they're 3rd in the country. Okay, they got at Missouri, which may be a scary game. We don't know. South Carolina, Samford, and then Texas, right? I don't think Texas is back, so they're probably going to be okay there. But you never know. They do not have a cakewalk remaining schedule. I think some of these other teams do.
Yeah. I just think I don't feel too confident about the whole situation because of the
You think that we could get booted or we'd be like first out kind of situation?
I think it depends on who we match up with in the first round, but I'm saying that I think Miami might shit the bed, which might hurt us in the end. And
I mean, maybe like here's the thing: just because this ranking of the AP does not matter. I don't know the historical, first time the committee, compares these teams or whatever. How close that was to what the AP had. And furthermore, if we went further, just in the last 11 seasons where we had this committee, the where they ranked teams in their first ranking in November to the final one is always different. Okay. I think what makes this year a little different is sometimes it appears the writing is on the wall that these teams are going to be in, these teams are going to be out, and the likelihood of upset is low. Someone will screw up above us. I do think that. But how far they fall is another story. So that's why I do think that we need help. I think our biggest help would be like someone like a Georgia Tech losing. Okay.
Right.
Or getting 2 losses, losing to Georgia and someone else or something. So that's just kind of my MO.
When it comes to the Big Ten, it's going to be kind of interesting with the Big Ten to see if Ohio State can hold on or if can Indiana knock them off. And I don't know. I'm not even really sold on Indiana. I think they're still kind of fraudulent. We'll see though.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Hey, I gotta hit the head. I gotta go to the bathroom and go to bed. Well, so I'll see you later.
Too much information there, but you have a nice day. Good God. Well, at least you weren't on the John while you're talking to us. William A. Frazier, really appreciate you very much. Let's bring our front man on finally. Let's get Luis back on the podcast. He's kind of the mid man here. I don't know where we're going here.
Nah, he good.
And now, at 5'10", from the Central Valley of California, the city of Fresno. Now, by way of Reno, Nevada, the one, the only, at Rescalvo _ Luis. I was saying it all week, and now I forget what's the 4 quarters of FU football, but in Spanish. What was that?
4 quarters of chinga tu madre type of football.
What, spell the last word.
Madre, M-A-D-R-E.
M-A-D-R-E. Madre.
Madre.
Mother.
Yeah. Madre. 4 quarters of chinga tu madre.
Chinga tu madre?
Tu madre. Yeah, there you go.
Chinga, that's the verb there. All right, I will conjugate that later. Luis, thank you so much for coming back to the podcast. Oh, and Wookie, I do see you there. We will get to you. I'm so sorry. But it's kind of hard to have the front man go last. I don't, that seems insulting. I don't know. What's up,
sorry,
Luis?
I got caught up on my daily things and my daily routines with my son and stuff like that. So
No, that's good.
Wrestling practice is starting to kick off.
Oh,
wrestling season about to kick off.
Wait.
So it's like,
sorry. Just go with me on this. Like high school wrestling, Mexican wrestling with masks. Like where are we going with this?
No. My son's high school wrestling. This is senior year. So.
I want to verify. Okay, you got me excited there for a minute. I was like, oh, here we go. Okay.
Nah, bro. So yeah, sorry about that. But I wanted to chime in about that whole Brian Kelly theatrical bullshit. You know what? This is when you cash in all those receipts of that fucking loudmouth Bobby Boucher, bootleg, booty-licking son of a bitch, talking all that motherfucking shit, saying that he had to leave Notre Dame because he couldn't win at Notre Dame. And guess what? Chinga tu madre, pendejo. Because we are doing it without you, baboso, and we are shopping down those aisles because we can't shop down those fucking aisles that your stupid motherfucking ass couldn't fucking go down those damn aisles. But guess what, Brian Kelly? Fuck you. Have a nice day, pendejo.
And I do know what pendejo means. No, that's true, Luis. Like it's kind of like what come. Oh, I wanted to play the fucking clip from Trailer Park Boys from when Ricky goes, "What comes around is all around." Brian Kelly. Yeah, that. It's true. It's like these are the seeds that you sowed. This is the harvest you are reaping. This is like that parable of like sowing seeds on rocky ground and in thorns. Like this is what it is. And right now we're the birds that are coming down on the road to those seeds and eating those. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe this is just too out there for people.
I don't know. Us Mexicans say this is where the chicken and the roosters come and hatch their goddamn eggs type of shit. You know what I mean? All this whole time that everybody was sandbagging and talking shit on Brian Kelly, I was like, wait a minute. Wait till the fucking trains derail and the train comes off the rails and stuff like that. Then you cash in every single receipt and you let go of everything that you've been holding in. Because all the shit that he said on his way out, the way he disrespected our players, disrespected our coaches, or disrespecting this beautiful university of Notre Dame, and did not value it the way he should, you stupid motherfucker.
That's true. How many coaches, other than Saban, had but Saban at least won a title at LSU and then multiple at Texas A&M. And then I would argue that Saban, was at a halfway decent program at Michigan State, but he's on record basically saying that like you can't win a title here at Michigan State. But that's another topic. But because of his time at Michigan State is why he got the LSU job. Point being, though, Kelly was at two very, very high-profile programs, Notre Dame for like 10, 11 years, and then LSU for almost, three and change. And it's like, you're at two very high profiles. Now, fortunately, Notre Dame is a less hostile environment by far. And then you go to a very demanding program that's LSU, where literally everything is given to you that you could possibly need. Like seriously, and like almost like beyond reason, okay? Or maybe in some shady gray areas. Point being, you got amazing talent, you've got a crazy fan base, you've got a lot of tradition down there at LSU, but that tradition is also based on winning and very high expectations. And I think you don't appreciate basically what's around you, and you act like a conceited imbecile. You act like an arrogant prick in both places. I think Notre Dame at least has a better environment to kind of like, hose the reins on him. Like 4 years ago when Red Snapper and I found out that Kelly was leaving, I'm like, and then he's doing like the family talk, which we'll play later. It's like Kelly was probably always like this, or was getting worse in his older age per se. And it's like, it's being more present and it's more on display while he's at LSU. Whereas at Notre Dame, it was kind of like caged, per se. And it's like I don't like, I think he is who he is. And I don't have a problem if like a coach is a dick per se, but a lot of it is very results oriented, and LSU was a very results oriented place. Whereas Notre Dame, I think, though we want it to be results oriented, I think that's sometimes the criticism among very hardcore fans, where it's like, we're almost like more focused on the image and the brand that is Notre Dame than like what's actually happening on the football field, if that makes sense. So,
well, I mean, yeah, all of that, right? But I just feel that Brian Kelly forgot his principles and values. And I posted something earlier today about Coach Freeman. Like, and this is what I love about our head coach. I mean, this is where I stood next to him, and I will still stand next to him, whether he's no longer here or gone, because one thing, he's made Notre Dame relevant. He made Notre Dame be bougie. He made Notre Dame look cool.
Two New Year's
Notre
Six.
Dame stand on business.
Notre Dame
He's making Notre Dame understand the value and the tradition that, you know what, you are at a special place, because there was a moment that we lost that specialty. There was a moment that we let Alabama, Georgia, LSU grow into what they are today, because we had an irrelevant coach that did not understand our institution and how good and how great this institution can be and will make him be. But unfortunately, Brian Kelly was all about himself, and he forgot where the fuck he came from. He started acting like a fucking conceited ass son of a bitch.
Well, that's the thing.
What?
It's like
reality check, motherfucker. Reality check.
Well, right, like show me the hardware. Let's go to the trophy case. Like what do you gonna like hold up your pinstripe trophy, which was vacated, by the way. But that's my point. Like you don't have any big bowl wins. You have no playoff wins. Did they get a conference title in the Big East, like in Cincinnati? Who cares, right? That conference doesn't even exist anymore. No conference titles in the SEC. Which I would argue is hard to do, but at the same time, it's like there's nothing there, and certainly no titles, no rings, no jewelry. So it's like you don't have anything, right? And obviously the goal for Notre Dame is title, okay. And year 3 with Marcus Freeman, we win 2 New Year's Sixes and another playoff game against IU, and it's like. Yeah, like Notre Dame is out there doing it, and that's an excellent point. Like you think of LSU and the SEC, and like, all right, it's a football factory and this, that, and the other. But then it's like you look at the head coach, who is kind of a projection of the direction and the trajectory of your program. Okay, that ain't LSU right now. I think that's a great way to put it when you say, who's the cooler school? It's Notre Dame. Notre Dame, a Catholic university in northern Indiana, is a way cooler place for a recruit right now than Ellis fucking U. I'm going to tweet that, okay? Like, seriously. And that's because of the head coach. And you're 100% right, Luis, when you say that.
And that's the thing, like, we're so caught up. And yeah, I get it. People are saying, oh, we're still having that hatred towards Brian Kelly. No, it's not hatred. It's
calling
my
a spade
turn.
a spade.
Hey, exactly. It's called spade a spade.
Honesty.
But this is me. It's me cashing in my motherfucking receipts that I've been holding in for that son of a bitch for a long time, because there was a moment I was going to cash in, and there was a moment I was going to return that bootleg jersey that motherfucker was selling. And guess what? I'm cashing that shit in. That doesn't mean that I don't love Freeman. The fuck? You got me fucked up if you think that. I just posted that Marcus Freeman is probably the greatest coach and is the best institution right now, because his wife is his best friend, and both of them together are making the University of Notre Dame stand on itself and be our lady, our mother, our glory, the University of Notre Dame with the Marcus Freeman family. And everybody got something to say? Fuck you and have a nice day.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's true. Like you can tell that Coach Freeman and what's his wife's name? It doesn't matter. Mrs. Freeman. You know, like yeah, they're a team. Like they work it out. You know, they got 5 kids, whatever it is. You know, and like it's so funny. I work with a bunch of Purdue people, and I was cracking some jokes on Monday with some of them. You know, it's just like, hey, Purdue, you know, Brian Kelly's a coach. You know, if you want to hire somebody, and they're just kind of like, even Purdue fans are kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, but they're kind of like, I don't know about that. And then their rebuttal, you know, because most Purdue fans are very anti Notre Dame. They're always like, well, aren't you afraid that Marcus Freeman's going to leave? And I'm like, no, I'm absolutely not afraid at all. And they're like, why? And I'm like, why? Because he's established at Notre Dame. He's got a family. He's got 5 kids. You know, they're integrated. Like, he's worked so hard in now his 4th season to get the program to where it is now. Why would you? And his record is decent. The fan base loves him. We love him on this show. You know, that's not the reason why, but I mean, if it helps, sure. I mean, maybe Marcus Freeman secretly subscribes to us. I don't know. We don't know. Point being, it's like you leave for an LSU or a Penn State or a Florida or whatever. You have to start over again with all of that shit. And you're finally at the pinnacle, you know, the cathedral of college football, as Notre Dame likes to say. And it's like that's a challenge enough. And you're already, you know, grooved into the seat, well worn in a good way. And it's like things are fucking clicking. It's like, why would you want to leave that now? No, what, just for money? Look, people who have money, most of them eventually find out that money is not the source of happiness. And if they don't know that, then, well, they'll find out on the day of judgment, I guess. I don't know. Like, I guess, I don't know. I'm not Marcus Freeman, okay? But I don't gather his family being in a situation where it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to leave because we want more money. Like, that can't be the reason. Okay, like it really can't. So Granger's pretty nice. So I don't know. Well, Luis, I really appreciate your feedback here. We're gonna play. By the way, Coach Araparsegian put something in the chat. The translation of "Chinga tu madre." So I appreciate that, Coach Araparsegian. I'm actually glad that I finally got the actual excuse me, translation of what you're going on here. So thank you. Yeah, it's great. All right, let's move on. Let's go over to Wookie here. Let's bring you on. Hopefully you're able to join us. I don't know if he's going to join us. Right now it shows Wookie as a listener. He's been on since the beginning, so he's going to close us down. If not...
Fuck Michigan and fuck Brian Kelly. What's up, all?
Hey, there we go. Should we add that to the t-shirt of Wookie quotes? You know, Wookie Wisdom. Yes. That'll be the name of the show. Or the name, or what we'll put on the t-shirt, you know.
There you go.
You'll have your
That'll work.
quintessential hair hat backwards with your.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be great. What's
Yeah,
up, man?
when
Are you cashing receipts? Are you basking in glory and opulence here? Where are we at? Or are you just excited that Halloween's on Friday like my kids are?
Well, I am excited that Halloween is on Friday, but I had receipts on my old account. Unfortunately, I didn't save them, which I should have. But I was just sitting here in my man cave watching movies and stuff, and I saw Brian Kelly got fired, and I busted a gut laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Ran into my wife.
I mean, who
told
didn't
her,
see this coming? Like Notre Dame, like this should not be a surprise, quite frankly. And the college landscape, the Franklin thing was like the real domino. It's like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, then you started like looking at other programs, and shit, we were literally a week ago in this position saying, well, Brian Kelly's on the hot seat, with potentially, and they got A&M, so if he shits the bed, you never know, and
then he gets fired.
he gets fired.
Oh yeah, I ran in and told my wife, and as you know, she's a Bearcat graduate, and she just started dying laughing.
Oh, so she's got some other
oh yeah, other receipts.
Yeah, those ones you gotta like seal, because like the ink evaporates basically on those receipts. They're so old.
Yeah, so when he went over to LSU and everything, she's like, okay, I like it. I like Notre Dame now. I like this Marcus Freeman guy.
That's funny. She probably is a Luke Fickell fan as well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was. And then he left.
Yeah,
now
then he
she's
left
throwing up
for
her
Wisconsin.
hands.
Well, and Wisconsin's not doing so great either, so yeah,
No.
we'll see how it is. But that might be a Wisconsin thing. Who knows?
Yeah, but for me, I'm just like, it couldn't have happened to a fucking more piece of shit guy than Brian Kelly just to get fired, to put him on his ass. Like, here you go.
Yeah,
Smack.
I mean, like, look, I don't like, it does not do me, I do not get pleasure by saying that, but I also believe that people are accountable for their own behavior. Okay, and when you're being a fucking asshole, quite frankly, to your players and screaming at them on the sideline, it's like, is that really helpful? Is that really? It's like in any relationship, a friendship, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like, is yelling at the person really the most constructive way to get through whatever you're upset about? Like, sometimes it takes the better, bigger person to not blow your fucking top, okay? Like, that's pride and arrogance that's coming out if that's the case. Like, work the problem, okay?
Yeah.
Say, wait a second, are you really, like that doesn't mean you're not mad, but it's like, it's how you deal with that. And Kelly, all this time, like, I'll put it this way. I don't know the relationship Kelly clearly has with his captains on his team, with his players, his leaders, his quarterback, Nussmeier, whatever. Okay. But from an outsider fan from another program, it doesn't look like they were going out, for Subway, after practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is so funny because it's like the complete opposite of how Kelly was with Golson, where he's like coddling him on the sideline and like giving him a back rub and giving him a hot cocoa and like wrapping a blanket around his shoulders. Like, it'll be okay, Tiger. Like that was Kelly and his lunacy in 2014 when Golson was a fucking head case. It's like, look, you're either producing head cases, you're fucking up talent in the case of Deshaun Kaiser, okay, or you just are yelling at good talent, like what you have at LSU. And, it's like, and Jaden Daniels is just so good, so it's just like you didn't even have to do anything, quite frankly. Like when those early years when Jaden Daniels was there, like they call timeout, or it's a TV timeout, or the end of the quarter. Kelly's not even in the huddle, so it's like he's either like so far removed or he's like in someone's ass. And it's like, neither of those situations are you being an effective coach. So it's like,
No,
what
not at
what
all.
are you doing here? Again,
Yeah,
I'm not at practice. I'm not on the team. I'm not even a fan of the program. But it's like, I'm observing this, 1,000 miles away here in central Indiana. And it's like, yeah, sure, LSU fans, you thought you got a good guy? Like, really? You're that confident? Crying belly underscore, like these people.
Yeah, I don't know. He was always quick to blame and really lackadaisical on fixing anything. Yes, he did a good thing for our program and
Yeah.
built it up a little bit and everything, but dude, he never fixed anything really. He just blamed everybody else.
I mean, like we got to some level of excellence to an extent. It was definitely better under Kelly than it was under Weiss,
Oh, for
and
sure.
we like the record, and he was there for a long time, and people are going to talk about, well, he's the most winningest coach ever, which I think that's just more of a time thing, and the fact that the season is just longer than it's ever been before.
It's
ND
definitely got an
Fanatics has
asterisk.
just joined us, which is great. 2 weeks in a row. Well done, ND Fanatics. Wookie, I want you to stay on, but I want to play something here since we've invited some people to speak. But before we get to ND Fanatics and we have kind of a round table here, I wanted to play this sound clip. I'm not doing a good job here. All right, here we go. Found it. Let's go with my favorite Brian Kelly montage here with LSU.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly,
Fake accent.
to be with you great fans, and to be part of what is going to be an incredible ride here at Louisiana State University.
Brian in the back, I know you love these.
The fact that
media
they were all
post-game
cheering is funny.
Sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going
The
on with
reporter
third down?
didn't
You
miss
guys-
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game.
I don't even know
Won
what
the game.
this was.
I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people
That was
want to
a
know
Florida
why you
game,
can't
okay.
run the ball, quite
We
honestly.
can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game?
Run the damn ball.
That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over.
This is after a
And
loss to
I'm so
USC,
angry
by the
about
way.
it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach.
Well, that's apparent, Coach. Yeah,
Oh, he admitted that. Wow.
I know. Good job, Coach Kelly. Yeah, sorry, I had to play that. That was fun to find those clips. Yeah, I actually didn't find the one about the reporter until tonight. I was looking at BK clips, and that one jumped off the page. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I've never heard this one before. I remember like it was in 2017 after Notre Dame lost by 1 point at home to Georgia. And he there was some reporter that was like kind of stumbling through the question, and it was a female, it was a woman, and like ESPN ripped him because they're like, oh, Brian Kelly's a dick to this woman reporter, and it's like, no, she kind of stumbled with her question, but it was a hurtful question, and it was in lieu of well, you guys did go 4-8 last year, and you kind of spiraled. What's preventing that from happening again? And he got really heated about it, and it's just and I couldn't find the clip, but that's a carrot for y'all to go find yourselves. So anyway, I had to share some of that. It's this is the stuff that we had observed at Notre Dame, things we're seeing, whatnot, while he's at LSU, which just seemed more amplified. It's kind of like, Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's kind of like old men. You know, their behaviors are so entrenched, and it's like it's more amplified their personalities or their behaviors or their tendencies, etc. That's Kelly to a T. You know, as his age is going on. I'm not trying to make fun of him getting old. It's just like your behavior is becoming much more amplified and much more apparent out there, you know, and credit to whoever at Notre Dame was kind of keeping that on the DL at the time. So that is where we're at. You know, we play some Brian Kelly stuff, and all of a sudden, here we come. Indy Fanatics, I see you there. Wookie, you don't have to go away. Wookie, Indy Fanatics, anything we need to say about Boston College, or we don't care, we should kill him?
Honestly, it's going to be one of those nail-biter games, I think. But,
Really?
you know, just grip it and rip it, baby.
Grip it and rip it. I mean, TeamRankings.com is still saying that we have a 76% chance right now to go 10-2. They're calling Boston College here. We got this up on the YouTube channel, a 98%. Our lowest is an 80%, which is Pitt in a couple weeks, right? Yeah. So they're saying our easiest game is Navy. I'm not convinced of that. I would actually put this Boston College game as or actually Stanford, then BC. Navy, yeah. I would have as second hardest after Pitt. You know, Syracuse in the middle there. But anyway, that's just one man's opinion here. But I mean, we're in the 80s, we're at the 90s. You know, 98%. Good God, like, give me a break. So. Yeah. That's where they're putting BC, 98.3%. I actually don't know the spread. I did not do my normal statistical breakdown. Did not make time. Instead, went out and celebrated 20 years of knowing my wife. And
congratulations, by the way.
Oh, well, you know, that was kind of a fun thing. I have fun things like that on my phone, like, you know, the Battle of the Alamo, and when we landed on the moon, and the day you met your wife. You know, just like random shit like that. You know, like, but like but I mean, this is my spouse, this is my best friend, someone I have sure. I am vowed to, is my sacrament, right? Sacrament of holy matrimony. But the point is, and not to get all preachy here, but it's ESPN is saying Notre Dame is a 97% chance. I like the other. Okay, they're also saying that the spread right now is 28.5 points.
Ooh.
At Boston College. So that's exciting.
That's a big spread.
That's a big spread. I don't know. And it could happen, I guess, but
I mean, it could happen if you grip it and rip it.
I mean, Boston College is in like a tier 2 hate space with, like,
yeah,
you know, Michigan State and, you know, what, you know, I don't even know who else. Maybe Ohio State. I don't know.
I forgot who they played last, but they put some points on the board in the first half. I think the same thing.
With BC.
Notre, but then they completely just got absolutely trounced in the second.
Well, the problem is yeah. So Boston College has lost 7 games in a row. They're 1-7. They are terrible. Okay. They have one win against Fordham. Okay.
Yeah.
But they lost to UConn 38-23. Now, grant UConn's, you know, on the up and up. They lost to Louisville last week 38-24. Okay. They actually lost to Sparty 42-40 in week 2. Let's see, where does Sagarin have them? I don't have this. BOSUN. They're 99th in Sagarin. Purdue's at 98, if anyone cares. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so that's that.
Can definitely put some points on the board and make it a game. It's within the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, let's see. What's their scoring offense? I did not do my normal statistical breakdown. I will do that later. They are 76th in scoring offense, averaging 26.8 points. Let's see. Notre Dame is definitely better than that. Notre Dame is 10th, top 10 in scoring offense. So hooray for our side. Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I think we're gonna win. Clearly, I there's a reason why I didn't feel compelled to. Oh, we got to do our stat piece against BC. No, like, I think we know what's gonna happen. Notre Dame's gonna win. Okay, move on. Whether we cover the spread is another story. But again, given the events of the week, it's hard to not talk about the Brian Kelly thing as a Notre Dame fan. It really isn't. It really is. So.
I got in here late, and kind of on that note, I thought it was a little poetic that they do play Boston College, where Brian Kelly's from that area, that he gets fired. And then, another one is just kind of weird, and maybe just the focus of Brian Kelly, but the anniversary of Declan Sullivan's passing was the other day, too, the day after his firing. And I was like, what timing? Weird.
Yeah. I talked a little bit about that. I actually don't like talking about that, Indy Fanatics, and I'm not trying to cut you off. Obviously, it just I talked about that with William earlier. It's like I will reemphasize this: safety is paramount. If you don't have your safety in your workplace or whatever you're doing in your life, you're doing yourself and your family and those that care about you no good. And so I refuse to put 100% blame on Kelly. I refuse to put even 50% of the blame on Kelly. I think that is actually inappropriate to do that. Yes, you're the leader, but look, if anyone's gonna put hot take, if anyone's gonna put the most blame on anyone, it's Declan Sullivan himself. If he felt that he was unsafe and still did it, I mean, like what do you want me to say to you? Right? Like seriously. I smell gasoline as I'm turning my car on. Maybe this isn't a good idea to start the ignition. And maybe that's a bad example, but like the point I'm making is like safety is number one, your own responsibility. And you never ever want to put your safety in the hands of someone else per se. Okay, maybe flying on an airplane is a little different, but in general, everyone knows that flying on an airplane is safer than driving your own car. Okay, number one, from a statistical standpoint, which is what we do on this show, Scotch and Spreadsheets. So you're welcome, even though we don't really have much spreadsheets tonight. But I mean, there were other GAs there. There were other assistant coaches. There were, I'm sure Jack Swarbrick saw the weather report. The players, whatever. It's everyone's responsibility. If you see something, say something and fucking speak up. Okay. So I refuse to put solely or a lot of the blame on Brian Kelly. I refuse to do that. Okay, if someone wants to say, well, you're the fucking leader and you gotta take ownership, okay, you can have that opinion, and I'm not saying you're wrong, okay, because I do think that Kelly should have, assessed safety for his staff, people that are working because A, they love Notre Dame football, and B, they want to help, with the situation. But that being said, it's like I refuse to really go to that level, and it was so long ago that rehashing the Declan Sullivan thing, it's gonna do no good. It does no good. This is like do we need to rehash the Apollo 1 fire? It's done. Like what are we gonna do? Move on. Lessons learned. Unfortunately,
And I think to your point, understanding how organizations work. We're both in corporate worlds.
I work for a big company. I do.
Yeah, and
I like the company I work for. I will say that.
Yeah, there's obviously a manager, whatever department they call it, the videographers. So there's a culpability there for whoever who's manager. So I understand your point. We don't have to get more into it.
We can. I'm not anti to talk about it. I'm just saying
it is like talking about a death. I just thought it was just with the anniversary day after his firing at LSU. I just thought it was notable. But I've always taken away.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
With his family, and his parents were whether it just being, quote, professional in regard had anything personally bad to say about Brian Kelly. So if they can do that, I've been in regards to it. Like, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, nothing. No. I guess here's the thing. Like, now that I'm a parent, and I have two sons, I have 2 boys. I mean, what a terrible situation, and nothing we do or say is gonna change the past or bring Declan Sullivan back, and that sucks. And I'm not trying to get all like sappy and make the show suck, you know. Like, I'm just like that's why I don't want to talk about it, because it's like let's just leave it at that. Like may he rest in peace, and may perpetual light be with him.
I did want to drop one stat about Kelly, though.
Here we go.
I thought we were, well, he was a benefactor of USC being very bad during his tenure here, because from my
which I'm
perspective,
totally okay with, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. As opposed to what Weiss and Willingham dealt with, USC.
Well, sure, they had to deal with fucking Pete Carroll and his khaki pants and his white tennis shoes, you know, like.
Yeah, 8 straight wins. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
Multiple Heisman Trophy winners. There it is.
And even when you saw them beat USC with Kelly, it was like a very close game. To that game, USC wasn't ranked. A lot of the other games were close. And I think this stat really speaks to Notre Dame was in a very bad position prior to Brian Kelly, with being like in the limelight. But if you really got critical of what he was doing, he had 4 top 10 wins in 10 years. Tyron Willingham had 3 top 10 wins in 3 years.
Interesting.
And for me, yes, he beat more of the teams he should have beat and mediocre teams and made playoff appearances. And of course, people are going to say, well, you're facing Saban, you're facing Dabo Swinney with 2 of the best teams in college football history.
Yeah, they were. Yep.
You know, but I think we've seen as he's gone to LSU, you know, prior, no longer, he just isn't a good in-game coach when it comes
he's not. I don't think he prepared well. I mean, like the fact that they got fucking curb stomped basically in their own house by Texas A&M is really a bad look. And I would also argue like the culpability that he has. It's like in game you don't seem like you're working the solution. You're just getting mad and angry. Okay.
Yep.
And it's okay if you want to be angry, but it's like again, is that going to be helpful? We said this earlier in the show. If you just got outplayed, but like the point is like LSU fans and the expectations there is that like they believe and rightfully, you know, that they should be the best college football team in the country. Okay. And that is a great position to strive for as a fan base and as a program. Okay. And that is the expectation. And clearly Kelly knew this going there. Whether he thought it would, you know, people would cash receipts and demand more, I don't know. But I just, and are you working the problem? Are you actually gonna try to turn things around and use your football IQ, which is why you're the head coach in the first place, to turn this shit around and beat Mike Elko, who has not been a head coach as long as you? And I would argue you probably don't have better players. But when you are throwing your players under the bus, you're not inspiring them. These are still young men that are moldable and require motivation and a 300 win one for the Gipper type of speech. And Kelly has always sucked at that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be their buddies. You can be demanding the way Lou Holtz was, yet still motivate them in an appropriate way. And Kelly can't do either.
Yeah, and I think exactly on that note, there has to be buy-in. He didn't get buy-in from his players.
No, that's the thing. If he had a bad record, but the players were like, yeah, no, but we love Coach Kelly. He's a player's coach. Like, it'd be a different story. But when you're yelling at Nussmeier on the sideline and some of these other guys, it's like, dude, you know these guys aren't going to go to bat. Like if they got called into someone's office, they'd be like, yeah, and like they'd be really honest probably about Kelly. Like, yeah, you know, this happened or that happened, or I don't like this, I don't like that. You know, like,
yeah.
You don't have to kiss the player's ass, but it's like you can have high expectations without like humiliating them. Can I say it that way?
Yeah. And I think really too what bought him time at Notre Dame ultimately and at LSU, well, not at LSU, but definitely at Notre Dame. He was good, whether it was analyzing coaching talent, and he surrounded himself with some good coaches at different portions, whether it was Elko, like you mentioned, or Clark Lee, or
Denbrock,
Matt LaFleur, who coached with him at Central Michigan, Notre Dame that one year. Now LaFleur is a great NFL coach. So I think that really augmented him too, where people are like, oh, he's so good, he's so good. And it's like, no, he was good at getting coaching talent around him, and his defenses were good. But I think a little bit of, in terms of like his coaching being so great, was honestly what his staffs did. And now without that safety net of really good assistants at LSU, where he kind of like fired some people and people didn't like the way that he rubbed them, that you saw that he was a very mediocre head coach. You know?
Yeah, I mean, hey, the writing's on the wall when it comes to you know, your record. Like, you are what your record is.
Yeah.
You know, you lose at Vandy, and they're kind of like, let's put it another way. Kelly lost his last 2 games he played at LSU. He lost to 2 coaches that were assistants and both DCs under him at Notre Dame. Clark Lee and Mike Elko both coached under him at Notre Dame, and he lost to both of them. And both of those coaches are in the SEC and doing way better than he is. Okay? And that is probably a contributing factor to why they fired him. Because if you're LSU, it's like, geez, look at what Elko's doing. Geez, look at what Clark Lee is doing at Vandy. Vandy, what are they ranked? They're like, it's suspiciously high. Like, I don't know if Vandy's ever been this high. Not in recent. They're top 10. They're number 9 in the AP.
With academic standards on Notre Dame's level.
Oh, and it's funny. I actually was last year in November. Was it last year? No, 2 years ago, because my wife was pregnant at the time. We were in Nashville. My wife had a conference, so I took the younger to we just went to like the zoo and stuff. Nice. But the day we went to the zoo, I was like, you know, we're wife's still at the conference. You know, the zoo's kind of closed. We're kind of done. I'm like, oh, we'll just drive around a little bit. I'll just give Todd the Irish Faithful a nap in the back of the car. And so I drove around Vandy's campus and like drove around their football stadium and some of these other things. And I was just like, okay, like, yeah, this is right near downtown Nashville, like not too bad, so it'd be kind of a far walk down to the strip down there with all the cool bars and stuff, in the Nashville downtown area. But point being, like, that's what Uber's for. But you could walk there, it was kind of cool. And it's just like, yeah, Vandy's doing better. Texas A&M's doing hella better. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, you're not helping yourself. That's that. So, Andy Fanatics, really appreciate it. Anything else against Boston College, or are we going to call it a good night?
I think, they'd probably win by 17-21.
The spread's really high. It's 28 and a half.
Like 30. Yeah. I will say I was looking at tickets and potentially going, and this was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of Notre fans will be traveling there. I think it's the only game on the East Coast. you probably have
unless you
a lot
count
of the
Pitt as
on
the
my area.
East Coast, but yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's DC. I think Boston's about 8, but you're going to get the New York crowd, the Philly, the Baltimore
Yeah,
crowd.
all the
driving up
New
to Boston.
England. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So it should be fun. I think they'll have a nice. They'll probably have maybe 60% of that crowd, which will be nice for the team.
I think so too. I mean, Boston College is doing terrible. They're not good. 1-7, like is bad. Like so, yeah. Notre Dame's got to keep winning, and you gotta pound our rival Boston College into the dirt. I do not like them. They are a tier 2 hate team for me. So
no, absolutely. Appreciate it, brother. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Have a good night at ND Fanatics at Fanatics ND. Send me a DM. What's your walk-up music you want? Right. We gotta get that sorted here. All right, Lynch Mob. We brought you on. Miss Zoom's here, and at Trust Dave is on here. That's cool. What's up, Lynch Mob? Come off mute. We're gonna close this down unless Miss Zoom or someone else wants to chat tonight.
What's going on?
Yo, man, we're kind of cashing receipts here. Brian Kelly was fired, so we have extensively talked about that, probably too much, and very little Boston College talk. But it's kind of been a therapeutic session here about people cashing receipts, because that's what we've titled the show.
That's right. Yeah, we got called jealous, and we were just out of touch with it when they hired him. When we tried to tell him what he was.
Your program sucks, Notre Dame. We're so great, and we stole your coach. Okay, good luck with that. Yeah, how's that working out for you, LSU?
Right.
You ain't gonna be in the playoffs this year. We're itching to get in the playoffs. Lynch Mob, do you think Notre Dame has a shot to make the playoffs? Because I think we do.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot ahead of us. There's a lot of cannibalism that could happen in the top 10, top 12 teams.
I agree. I think we clearly have to win out, and I think the schedule sets up well that we can win out convincingly by double digits over every opponent, which is what we need to do. We need style points. I'm gonna flat out say that.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any receipts with respect to this LSU Brian Kelly thing, or you've buried the hatchet, you're ready to move on? It's like, you know what, this Brian Kelly thing is a distraction. Like, where are you at on the scale here?
No, I really don't. It can be distracting, I guess, if you let it get that way, but you just got to look past it and realize that we're a little salty about him leaving, but now we're way better off than we were.
I agree. No, I mean it's one of those things like I'm not trying to look back because I want to focus on forward, but it's one of those things where LSU, we told you so, and then you finally come back around and it's like, yeah, we're gonna do it. So I agree. Let's see, we got Boston College there. Gosh, I mean, TeamRankings.com said 98% win percentage chance. They're not good.
Yeah, I would say it'll probably be ugly.
Yeah. Well, do you think Notre Dame covers the spread? Because the spread right now is saying 28.5.
28.5.
Yeah, it's really high.
It's pretty high, but there's a chance. If not, it'll be just under.
I mean, I'm looking at some of these margins of defeat. Like Clemson beat them by 31. That's their biggest defeat. Stanford actually beat them by 10. So good on the Cardinal there. Cal beat them by 4. Oh, I take it back. Pitt beat them by 41.
Okay.
So if Pitt beats them by 41, we should too.
Yeah, I could see that being a trend.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be okay with like 42-3, 42-0.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if defense steps up, I think the offense is rolling pretty good. Defensively, we're way better than we were at the beginning of the season, but still just a little fine tuning.
Yeah, I don't have it's disappointing. I apparently closed my tab for CFP stats. Why did I do that? Let's see here. That way y'all can follow along. Scoring defense. Let's put in BC. Boston College is 126 in the country, averaging their opponents to 34.4 points a game. Now, if we compared the 34.4 of Boston College to scoring offense of Notre Dame, who is 10, right now we are averaging 39.1 overall the game. So Notre Dame clearly should get into the 40s. And I think that's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's just a math thing at that point. So, all right, Lynch Mob, anything else? Otherwise, we're going to try to give Fivers or Miss Zoom Zoom an opportunity to say something.
That is it.
All right. Have a good one. Lynch Mob, really
Yes,
appreciate it.
You bet.
You haven't had to put out any fires literally yet nearby, have you?
Not recently.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. We've worked a couple big vehicle accidents, but no fires.
Okay.
We've got finally gotten some rain here the last couple days, so it's been good.
I have a question. The Jaws of Life, is that like hydraulically based thing?
There are multiples. So there are hydraulics that run off of like a portable pump, and then on the Jaws there are also we have a set of battery powered that are completely cordless, and they are probably I think they're probably stronger than the actual hydraulic set.
Okay.
So they're a lot more portable. They're a little heavier, but they're a lot more portable.
Yeah.
Which made it handy because we had a car that ran off the edge of a bridge down here and was down a pretty steep embankment.
Yeah, it's like down a gully or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we toted those down there, got the occupants of the vehicle out, and toted them back up a lot easier than dragging hoses.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. The favorite pastime of firemen is dragging hoses, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, the movie Backdraft, is that like in your top 10 or is that just like overplayed?
Yeah. It's good. There's a lot of theatricals to it, but there's a lot of also, I guess like real life stuff that could, actually happen.
Yeah. What's interesting is I remember this is a kid growing up in LA. I remember when that movie came out and like we had a copy of it on VHS, at least my parents did. And I remember like my wife had never seen it. I'm like, "Oh, you got to watch Backdraft." And she's like, "Yeah, that was a good movie." But I remember at Universal Studios Hollywood, they had the Backdraft like live fire like thing. And I was like, "This is so effing cool." And then they had like a mini documentary prior to like going into the theme park, experience or whatever you want to call it, the show, like the controlled fire or whatever. And I remember they were talking about like how the actors had to like go through a lot of like the firefighter training, regimens, so they would not only like look the part, but would be exposed to the elements. Right.
Yeah. So we have a training building that's close to here. We're in the process of hopefully in the next couple of years getting our own. So if you look up like live fire training videos where, the guys are sitting in a shipping container and the fire just engulfs it and goes over the top of them, that's pretty wild.
Wow. Wild, crazy stuff. Well, keep doing your thing. Thank you for your service. And as a first responder, much appreciated. Protecting people, saving people's lives in moments of crisis when no one ever anticipates to happen. So you are appreciated, my friend. Lynch Mob at Lynch Mob ND. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you want walk-up music, you can go ahead and you have my phone number.
Yeah. I'll come up with something.
You let me know. We can do the Backdraft theme, like whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. We'll come up with something.
All right, let me know, man. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Have a good
My
night.
brother on the Dos Leprechauns media universe. Let's roll with it. All right. Fivers, I think you're going to shut us down unless Miss Zoom Zoom Auntie wants to jump on. But she's more of a listener, which I appreciate. But let's see here. She's not in Boston either, so she's probably a little more partial to Syracuse, right? So maybe we'll bring Auntie Miss Zoom Zoom on for the Syracuse week, which is fine. Fivers, where's your walk-it music? What the hell, man? I got to do better. I mean, I'll just flat out say it. Fivers, I think you're going to shut us down tonight.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you have to like shorten or brief what you do.
Okay, I'll try to make it a little. I'll try to cut it roughly around 20 minutes then.
Yeah, you wish. What's up, brother? You want to talk about the Brian Kelly being fired thing? Because that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I mean,
it is a little funny.
Because there's so many coaches that have been fired this year already.
It's kind of suspiciously crazy, right?
Yeah. I heard from a lot of like LSU players that he was kind of a dick and whatnot.
Oh, it's just my shocked face.
Yeah, I know, grass is green right there. But you would think that a coach would the media portrays him to act like a dick, but behind closed doors he actually cares about his players. But it didn't look like that with Kelly.
Nope.
And I was listening to some of the show earlier, and
some other show. What?
No, some of this show earlier.
Oh, okay.
It was on
Good.
YouTube.
Thank God I'm listening. I did see you on YouTube. Thank you for your comments.
Yeah, and I was like, you gotta give credit where credit's due. He did pretty good. He kind of brought Notre Dame back into the national, spotlight, but he couldn't get us over the hump, and that's when everyone started calling Notre Dame frauds and shit. And he didn't. There was so much talent on teams that, that were not utilized well. Everett Golson, Deshaun Kaiser, Chris Fink, all them and all that. So am I happy that he's gone from LSU? Yes and no. Because I don't think someone with that deserves that kind of money at all.
Oh, there you go.
Also, I'm not one that's going to be like, oh, I'm glad he's out of a job now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't feel bad about his buyout, number one, right? And
because he's also getting millions of dollars.
Millions,
too.
like, as I said this on Monday at work, I was like, he's leaving with 2 commas, right? $1 million, like $50 million. Okay, like I can't even imagine that amount of money. Like, I mean, I got a job, retirement, whatever. We're trying to build retirement. I got wife, kids, mortgage.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like that kind of money is like silly to me. Like, I would be, we'd be fine. We'd be happy. Like happiness is not a function of money. So maybe that's the wrong word to say, but it's like my livelihood would still be very comfortable. Okay. It's like, give me a break. Okay.
Yeah. I was also talking about the coach. I was talking to some guys and on who's going where and whatnot, and we started talking about James Franklin getting fired again. And it was funny because I'm not sure when it happened, but the Penn State pedo scandal and whatnot.
Yeah,
they covered all that up to keep their head coach, but losing to Northwestern is where you draw the line. So yeah, I guess losing to Northwestern is a bit worse.
I think Northwestern was at home, and that was after they went to UCLA and lost, a team that had fired their coach already. Okay. And then they had to play Iowa. They're playing Ohio State this Saturday, and then they're playing Indiana next week. It's like they wanted to stop the bleeding, and it's like
they're not going to.
And I will say this, like I don't know a whole lot about Franklin, but I get a similar politician coach speak, bullshit from his mouth that we saw from Kelly, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's like, look, you are what your record is. Like, as much as Ryan Day at Ohio State is a fucking dick.
He's a good damn coach.
He's a good coach. His players love him. Okay.
Yeah.
He supports his players. Okay. Like, look, Kelly, start small. Support your players. Like, try to like them. Try to have them like you. Like, and above all that, Ryan Day's got a good record. He won a natty last year, right? They convincingly beat us in the title. Like, it's I'm not gonna bitch and moan about it. It's a fact, right? And it's like you're not even close to that level of behavior. If you're Franklin or Kelly, and it's like, well, yeah, you're gonna get fired. Number one, your record is the driving factor, and then the results, and then you run your mouth, but you run your mouth and you can't like back it up with a win. It's like Ryan Day is a dick, but it's like, yeah, but he's winning. Like, okay,
Yeah.
The means don't justify the ends. I'm just like, yeah, like if you're the administration, you're like, so he's running his mouth, okay, like, yeah, exactly. So like that level of nonsense is a distraction, and maybe it's a sign of, in addition to just coaches not performing with bad records, but at the same time, it's like, treat your people right. Like start there. Okay. Get your house in order. Okay. Is your house built on sand? Is the core group, is the shell and 300, like, is it a tight knit group? And then now, like, you can't have enemies from within. You can't. To survive and be successful in any organization, you can't have any enemies and mistrust from within. And what you're seeing with Kelly and Franklin is a lack of trust from within the program. And like, that's it. Like, and you don't see that at Notre Dame. You don't. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a coach that has high demands, high expectations, is empowering his assistants, his coordinators, but also, there's been some I think Freeman even flat out said we had some uncomfortable conversations, but they're behind closed doors. Like those, like Freeman is very practical about, look, you praise in public, you criticize in private. I imagine Freeman ripped Chris Ash's ass a new one after the Texas A&M game and said, look, you either do what I fucking tell you because I'm the head coach, or you're going to be cleaning urinals at Notre Dame or somewhere else the rest of the season, okay? And I don't give a shit because it's my record that's up there. And we're gonna take care of business, and we're gonna work the problem together as a unit. Okay? We didn't hire you just to fuck things up. Okay? So that's just kind of where I'm at.
Well, yeah, and there's always going to be negative conversations anywhere you go, anyway.
Well, sure. I mean, like shit. Talk about your own family. How often do you have like some sort of weird cross with a member of your family? If you're married, no married person has never not had some sort of hey, we got to talk kind of conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like conflict is a function of the human experience because we're all different people. Okay. The difference is between conflict and resolution is both parties have to agree that we have to work together in some way, shape, or form, which means lowering your humility and lowering your ego. And if Brian Kelly couldn't do that, that's kind of what it appears to be.
Never took really any responsibility.
I agree.
On the touchdown, the punt, I think punt return touchdown by Texas A&M. He went up to his special teams coach and said, "This is going to get you fired." And then, lo and behold, next day he's gone.
Yeah,
Kelly, not the.
yeah. There might have been some fun tweets there after that or something. I don't know what the deal is there, but anyway,
their coordinator as well.
I mean, he's not our problem anymore, thank God. But I don't know.
I want to see him go to Penn State. I think that'd be funny.
That would be kind of funny. I really don't know where. I don't know. I think the coaching carousel this offseason is going to be very interesting. And so we will pay attention to this because I don't think I've ever seen anything like this ever. Yeah. Mid-season, this many high-profile programs, that's a sign that we need to end the show, are looking for head coaches. UCLA, Virginia Tech, Florida, Penn State, Oklahoma State, LSU. That's 6 right there. If I'm missing one, please speak up. That's a lot of high-end profile locations.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 of them I would argue, are tier 1. Okay.
All right.
So,
God bless.
God bless us, everyone. All right, Fivers, if that's it, I think we're going to shut things down because the Irish are moving on to our opponent, the Eagles of Boston College.
We've seen them ruin our seasons or almost ruin our seasons before.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, we're far from the days of 93. This team is 1-7. We should beat their ass like they owe us money. They suck. They are so bad that they're not even worth with the stats. If only that was the real case. No, I did not make time. I instead took my family out to dinner. And
they are a rival. They are a rival. Do you have any bad feelings towards them?
Yeah, they're in tier 2 of hate space for me. Absolutely.
You don't like Boston College?
Why would I like them?
I don't know. I don't have a problem.
Exactly.
They're like
what? I have to like them because they're the only other Catholic university other than USD that has a college football program? No, I don't care about that. Like it's, or their jerseys are in italics. You know, the numbers are in italics. You know, like who cares? Like. No, I can like them. I can hate them because of 93. They are complete dicks to us when we go up to Boston. And quite frankly, other than Doug Flutie, who's a shitty broadcaster, we don't have to like them. So
I haven't had any negative experiences myself. So
I have a quick funny story. So when I was a grad student, I think my second year, I was running tailgates. We played Boston College at home. We won that game, thank God, but the weather was shit. It was snowy, icy, typical South Bend weather. And there were a guy coming around selling T-shirts, and it said Boston College, welcome to town, giant middle finger on the shirt. My friend Dan buys one, wears it in the stadium. Now, the funny part of the story is that Dan tried to sneak beer into the stadium and got caught. But the point is like that's my memory of the Boston College game, and it was a great tailgate. So, all right, Irish are shipping up to Boston. Let's roll with it. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Fighting Irish Faithful Show. Go Irish, beat Eagles.